What is up, everybody? It's Madlibbs, and yes, I know my mic is garbage. I mean, my mic is always garbage. But it's more garbage than normal because I'm recording this in the middle of the goddamn woods. Now, this video is a very special one because this is a monthly Patreon video. A video which is suggested by my $5 patrons, and then I pick whichever one I like the most to do for the month. And what they've suggested and I've picked for this month is the top 5 worst pieces of advice I've ever gotten as an artist. Also, I'm aware that Lavender Town recently dropped a video that's very similar to this, but I don't care. This is for my patrons. So this is going to be art advice not only for improving your art, but also for advertising and getting big from your art. Just anything artist related in general. We're going to start from number 5 and work our way up to what I personally think is the all-time worst. Number 5. Self-advertise. This one's sort of an iffy piece of advice. I put it at number 5 because not only does it mean well, but it can actually work very well if done correctly. But the reason that it's on this list in the first place is because every time I've seen this, the person giving the advice never elaborates on it. They just say, oh, advertise yourself, and that's the end of it. And sometimes I've seen people even suggest advertising yourself in people's comments, which we do not need any more of right now. I'm sick of seeing it. Oh, hi, I'm just an artist and I'm only 15 and my dog died and I'm really sad and I know you probably won't click it, but if you could, that would mean the world to me. Nobody needs more of that, and it sucks that I've seen some people actually putting out that this is gonna work on people because it never does. It just makes people want to block you, if anything. Honestly, I might do a video in the future about how to actually advertise yourself, because if you advertise the right way, it can really get you places. But for now, I'm just gonna stick with bringing it up and not giving any advice on how to do it properly. Kind of annoying, isn't it? Number 4. Keep your feed one color or vibe. This one really annoys me, but I only put it at number 4 because it doesn't really harm artists too much, and it's kind of correct in a weird way, which I'll explain in a little bit. And it's also kind of an Instagram thing from what I've seen. I haven't really seen this piece of advice in other social medias. Now, if you've never heard of or seen this, it's usually, again, on Instagram on those how to get more followers as an artist posts. Usually these are kind of different from each other, but they almost always have one thing in common, which is this piece of advice. Keep your page and feed the same. When they say that, they usually mean the same color palette or the same general vibe. For example, keep it pastel or keep it dark or vaporwave, whatever kind of art you draw. And personally, I really hate this advice because the thing is, very few artists ever exclusively draw one vibe or color or style or whatever. Most artists want to experiment, or they just like to draw many different vibes. Like one day they want to draw something cute and pastel, and the next day they want to draw something dark and spooky. And this kind of advice really limits that. Because if it's taken to heart, the artist might feel bad about experimenting with different colors or vibes and posting a sketch or ink drawing because their feed is mainly finished works or mainly pastel or something like that. They might not post a really good piece because it's too different from their main feed, and it's very, very limiting. I would know because I did take this advice to heart for a very long time, and I felt all of these things. I even felt a twinge of guilt every time I looked at my feed and it was unorganized. I felt like I was failing or I wouldn't get any followers because of it. And the problem with that is that it's kind of true. The thing is that on Instagram and most other social medias with a similar layout, most people tend to glance at the general feed of artists. And if they see it all mismatched or it's not filled with posts similar to the one that they liked before, they probably won't follow you. And it really sucks, but that's how it is on this bitch of an earth. People who aren't artists generally don't understand the whole thing of experimenting. They just see one piece and they're like, oh, I want to see more of what this artist does, and if the artist doesn't do it, they're like, I don't want to follow. It's kind of like when people, subscribe to a YouTube channel for one series and then the rest of the series that the YouTuber does or other videos they make don't get any followers. It's basically that in action, but for artists. Now, even though this is true, I really think that the solution shouldn't be to limit yourself and the colors that you use or post or whatever just to get more followers. Because if people like your art and you advertise right and you bring something to the table, you're gonna get followers. Real followers who don't give a shit if you post something different or if you're experimenting. You shouldn't be, shamed for experimenting. And I know that's not exactly what these are doing, but it can lead to a lot of self-shame for trying new things, which in the art world is a terrible, terrible thing to do. Number 3. Don't use references. Now, I've already done an entire video about how using references isn't some horrific art sin, but this is advice I've seen multiple times pop up when I asked people what kind of terrible advice they've gotten, and it's still just as bad as it was before. Referencing is one of the greatest tools that an artist can have, and with the internet, artists all around the world have access to so many references right at their fingertips whenever they need it. Why wouldn't you want to use that? I showed this kind of stuff in my last video, but there have been so many instances of people drawing with and without a reference, and the results are very clear. References help. Hell, I can vouch for this myself. All my favorite drawings are ones that I use reference for, including this demon lady you're all simping for. So you're simping for references. Ha! Checkmate, buddy. And if references cause my art to get simps that are asking for a fictional character's OnlyFans, well then I think that's plenty of evidence that they're a good thing. Number 2. Do free commissions to get promotion. Do I really have to explain this one? God, I actually forgot about this shitty piece of advice for a while until my friend Toby told me about it. And then I got awakened from the recesses of my old DeviantArt forum exploring 12-year-old brain. I've seen this advice for artists and it is straight up garbage. Because first of all, requests and commissions are a rarity unless you're like ultra famous. So how is offering free commissions or requests going to boost you when nobody even knows about your art in the first place? And second of all, commissions or requests are a commitment. You have to do that shit well and in a timely manner because how you are towards clients in any business or industry is very, very important. And if an artist who's just starting out and doesn't know nothing about commissions or requests start doing all kinds of them out of the blue for promotions only, they might fuck it up because they don't know what they're doing. They might get a reputation of being terrible to work with. And even though they were only bad at it because they've never done it and maybe they have school or responsibilities and can't focus on their art 100% right now. Basically, telling new artists to do free commissions or requests right off the bat before they know anything at all is awful advice. And to all you young artists out there who are watching this, don't fucking do it. Do commissions and requests when you personally feel like you're ready to do so. Don't do them because you feel like it's the only way to improve your art or get popular, because that'll only make things more stressful for you, and it has been proven many times that exposure doesn't do fucking anything. So don't do it. And now we move on. We move on to the number 1 worst piece of art advice that I hate with a passion, and I've hated it ever since I started looking up how to get better at art on YouTube when I was like, I don't know, 12 or something. I know that this was also Lavender Town's number 1, but I'm still gonna put it up here because, God, I hate it. And it is, just practice or draw every day. Bitch, what do you think I'm doing? This is the most unhelpful advice you can give somebody. How do I get better at baking? You just bake. You just bake every day. How do I get better at writing? You just write. You write every day. How do I get better at sewing? You just sew. You just sew every day. God, I hate seeing it everywhere. Back in the day when I'd look up how to get better at art and I'd sit through a 10-minute video just to hear, well, you know, in the end, what you gotta do, guys, it all just boils down to just practice. You just gotta practice. I flip shit. Well, not literally, but I felt like flipping shit, and it was always such a goddamn waste of my time. It was so unhelpful. Just practice. I mean, it has some merit. Inevitably, if you practice and do something for years and years, you're gonna get better at it. But the reason you're getting better isn't because you did it over and over. It's because while you were doing it, you picked up tools of the trade. You made mistakes, you learned from them, you found other ways to improve yourself. Just the practice itself is not gonna get you far in art at all. You have to actively seek out improvement or you will never improve. Here, I'll use my shit as an example. Here's a whole bunch of drawings back in high school. Back when I was drawing literally every single day instead of doing work in class. I was not a very good student. They all look basically the same, even though this is over a span of 4 years straight. Now there are small improvements here and there, and I stepped it up a little bit from freshman year to senior. However, here's my art over the course of my YouTube career. After I was out of school, when I had time to sit and watch videos and learn techniques, and I actively tried to improve myself for my audience. Notice how quick the improvement is after only a year and a half versus 4 years? That's because I actually went out and I looked up stuff and I taught myself new things. Just practice is not only annoying to hear, but it's extremely unhelpful. And it can be detrimental if a young artist thinks that all they have to do to get better at art is practice and never take any advice, never seek to improve their art, never try. And I'm not saying that you have to try and improve your art all the time, like if you just want to do it like as a hobby and you don't really care. But if you do want to improve art, and if you're a YouTuber who's giving people audience of how to improve art, just practice is the worst piece of advice you can give them. And much like Lavender Town said, it implies that the people who you're giving the advice aren't practicing themselves or they're not doing it enough. When in reality, practice does make perfect, but it makes perfect very, 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 very slowly. And that's it. That's the top 5 worst pieces of art advice I've ever gotten. I hope you guys liked the video. This was kind of different. I don't usually do list type videos like this. I usually focus on one topic and go on for way too long about it. But if you guys liked it, I might do more in the future. Leave, a comment below what kind of lists you would want me to do next. And huge thanks to my $5 patrons. We've got R. Stormcliff, here's their work and here's their tag. We've got Anamajinku, I'm not sure if I pronounced that right, but here's their art and here's their tag. And we've also got Incredible Balloons, who made a goddamn Cthulhu costume out of balloons. Here's his work and here's his tag. Go follow them. Huge thanks again to them for supporting me in this time. If you guys want to get your work on screen, or you just want previews or something, go to my Patreon, link in the description. If you guys want to follow me just for my art, go to my Instagram. If you want to hear me screech stupidly about stuff that doesn't really matter, go to my Twitter. And I'm doing a special thing for my Discord from now on, since it's gotten really huge and I don't have a lot of mods. There's going to be a Discord link in the comments below, and that link is only going to work for an hour. But don't worry, because I'm going to start doing this on all my videos. There's going to be a link to the Discord, but it's only going to work for an hour, so y'all better show up if you want to be part of the Discord. It's going to be closed aside from that. And the last thing that I forgot to plug earlier is my second channel. I post a whole bunch of shit posts there. I try to post every day, so if you guys want to see that and you don't want to wait a week to hear my beautiful voice, you can head on over to my second channel. Links to all these things are going to be in the description below. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, definitely don't forget to subscribe and join the madness. See ya!